thought. I'm going to change the title for this random thoughts, right? So we talk about a little reel that I saw on Instagram with KRS-One, and he was speaking of people able to exist without being dependent upon society and the system. There's nothing wrong with the concept. So when I was listening, it made me think. There's several groups of people. There's a group of people that come in and they already in the high, and so they are controlled by fear. And then you have those who come in and they in the low, they make it to the high, and then they controlled by fear. And you have people that have a higher understanding of what's going on in reality and in the spiritual realm, right? And they experience both the high and the low without fear. Now, most people say fear puts you into a higher perspective. No, fear is a low vibration, and so it puts you in a low vibration, whether you like it or not. The physical reality is the slower vibration. Time is slower. Space is a little bit slower. And so, of course, as human beings, we here in the physical, we in the body, we in the flesh. What people have to understand is that the mind and the heart chakra controls how we see reality. And so I agree with KRS-One. And so this is why you can see people who you would say is in the low, but you're still going to see them in the high. And so they'll still make it to the high, regardless. This is the rules. Now, even when you listen to certain philosophers, they're going to tell you that you can reach the same height and level of spirituality, understanding, and respect for the non-physical aspect of yourself, right? Whether you hit the low or the high. The interruption comes when we deal with individuals who high, low, and medium, the perspective is not the same. So you could be a billionaire and a zillionaire look at you like you're a thousandaire. You could be a millionaire and a millionaire look at you like you only got a couple $100. It's a perspective and a level of access. You could be in poverty and look at all of them like they bums and they have nothing, and still leave with a higher perspective. That's dealing monetarily, but when we dealing spiritually, we still have to respect and understand that. And the majority, right? The majority in all of those categories, a lot of them die unconscious. They conscious of the reality. They pass on unconscious. And so they have children, they have offspring, and they don't even know how to tap in. They don't know how to reincarnate. They don't know how to put the clues in with their offspring and their children so that they can reincarnate and guide their children so that they don't have these mistakes or their next generation. This is not magic. This is a real universal connection that takes place that gets interrupted. Period. Even in my space and time, it can get interrupted. Whether we do it as a subconscious or unconscious thing to ourselves, or whether it's the surroundings and so on and so forth. So there's no blame. But we have to always remember that every time we come to the earth, we are here to have an experience. Now, there's some of us that's going to have a repeat experience. Those who acknowledge the repeat experience and wants to shift the repeat experience, they tend to have this resistance. Whether it's spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, it's always a resistance because it lets the energies around you understand that you are aware from the previous state of being. This is what I say is like a hard pill to swallow. And so there's people that think like me, see reality like me, see energy like me, deal with energy like me. There's two types. maybe three. There's two types. There's people that use this information to violate, and then there's people that use this information to teach, while understanding that while they teaching, they always gonna learn. Period. And this has nothing to do with a spiritual system or a race of individuals. This happens in every race, every culture. It happens. Everybody has to be within their stance, within their reason, within their mindset, and within their understanding of what their reality is supposed to be. Even if you come in and your past is blotchy, why would your past be blotchy? Why would somebody, anybody, let's just use me as an example. Why would my past be blotchy? Is it necessary, or is it for me to seek, or is there somebody that's going to be connected to me that's going to try to connect to my past so that I can get to the past, so that I can deal with the current, so I can deal with the future? Period. When the past is blotchy, it's not that it's nothing that you can't do about it. I've learned that you settle on that as blotchy until you get to a particular period in your life. And this is the thing that makes life interesting. You have people that have nothing, so they have no other choice but to tap in. And you have people that have everything, and they have no choice but to tap in. Now, when one states that they're going to take the middle path is extremely hard, because you move between a low and a high vibration until you decide which side you want to be on. It's a very, it's a difficult path. Wealth, health, prosperity, it can happen in the middle path, but you still have to be conscious. Consciousness is still a spooky realm to be in, whether we like it or not. It's an extremely spooky realm, and it's super spooky when you become conscious early. Consciousness comes based off the experiences and based off the elders that you connected to. And real elders understand the vibration of the younger generation that they're dealing with. They understand that there's feminine, rough energies, and that there's masculine, rough energies. So they're going to give you warnings and have conversation with you and speak to you in a way to understand your mind and the way that you think. But they do not interrupt your journey. This is a real elder. They don't interrupt your journey. They stay long enough to cushion your journey, but they don't interrupt it, because they know that it's necessary for you to understand what it is that they're trying to say. Now, this brings me back to many conversations that I've had with my favorite elder, my uncle. And to this day, it's still certain conversations that I have that I say, oh, Uncle was tripping. And then guess what? Life happens, and I realize, like, no, he wasn't tripping. No, Sky, you was tripping. It's a weird thing. And this the elder does not have to be physically or genetically related to you. They don't have to do that. It's a connection, and it's natural, and it can't be tampered with, and sometimes it can overpower even the connection that you have with people that's physically related to you. It's a weird and strange thing, but still has to be respected. Life is learned based off experiences and lack of experiences, and so I learned on both spectrums. And so I become comfortable on both spectrums, which always brings me back to the highest spectrum, which will always bring you back to the highest spectrum. The resistance part, though, the resistance is what's wicked. Because when you look at the resistance, in most cases, they look like you, they talk like you, they walk like you, they think like you, they feel like you, and they've experienced like you. And that's what makes it wicked. And so that's the net that we have to get through as a majority. Even when, situations come to place that try to use me against people that look like me, it doesn't work. I might go to a certain extent to figure out why you aren't trying to use me against people that look like me, but that's as far as it's going to go. The sad part is the people that look like me don't have enough faith in people that look like them to understand that there's people that will test these situations and energies and systems just so they can see what's going on, so that everybody else can see what's going on. Weakness is being able to be controlled. Power is when you're willing to test any system out here just to see how far they will go to destroy you, so that you know how far they'll go to destroy the all of us in one. And in that, you find out that the people that look like you, feel like you, see like you, experience like you, can be bought and sold and controlled. And that has to be respected in the whole process. It just simply has to be respected. Being bought willingly and being bought against your will is two different things, and people have to understand that. People are not understanding that. Those who are bought, manipulated, violated against their will, if they don't come up in the generation that they in, the next generation will. It's just that simple. Anyway, talk to you later. It's a random thought. It's me, NBT Sky. Smooches.